This is Ashwin again. How is it going? Welcome back to my series of tutorials on OpenCV3 and Python 3. In the last couple of tutorials, we saw histograms in detail. We also saw histogram equalization and how it affects image. So in this tutorial, we are going to get started with morphological operations, also known as morphological transformations. So before we get started with morphological transformations, we need to understand something about black and white images. It's not that we haven't worked with black and white images, but we haven't worked extensively with them. And morphological transformations or operations can best be understood by means of applying them on black and white images. So we know that grayscale images have the pixels ranging from 0 to 255, and even all the color images, all the color channels are 8-bit unsigned integers. So these values always range from 0 to 255. But in case of black and white images, there are only two values. It's either 0 or 255. It's either black or white. So we know that we can convert a grayscale image to a black and white image by applying thresholding. We have already seen the programs for that. So this is the program for thresholding and this is the output for that. Okay, so let me clear it and run it again. We have already seen this program, right? There are 6 thresholding algorithms and there are 5 thresholding algorithms that we saw, and out of them two convert the image to complete black and white. So this is the original image, and these two are completely binary images or black and white images, whereas 3 have shades of gray. So these 3 images are not going to be very useful, and this binary inverted image is kind of the most useful image for morphological operations. So let's rearrange the output. So first of all, let's kill this and let's rename it as output. Let's save the code, and finally we will have output. No, I guess already output is already done, so we will just name it as binary. Okay, binary INV. It's nothing but binary inverted. So binary inverted is a part of the output set. Now let's delete all these things and let's visualize these things. Let's say 2 and then 1 comma 2, and finally we will just say yes. So now it seems like the code is correct and we can just go ahead and execute this. Okay, so it seems that there is some problem with something here. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. Num must be greater than or equal to. Oh, have we created something which has gotten us into a trouble? I guess it should be 2. Yes, it should be 2. Yes, and this is going to resolve the issue. Yes, so the issue has been resolved, and we can see this original and the binary inverted image. Now we are going to apply a couple of morphological operations on this image, on this binary inverted image. So as I have told you already, morphological operations can best be understood by applying them on the binary image or black and white image. So let us calculate the first of all we need to calculate a kernel. Okay, so kernel can be calculated in multiple ways. So let's say k is kernel, and we can just have a kernel something like np.once, and we can just mention the data type and the size. So size should be, so here in this case 5 by 5 will be a right size. Yes, 5 comma 5, and the data type should be np.uint of 8. np.uint of 8. So I hope I have already imported NP. If not, we will import numpy as NP. Okay, so it's showing warning because we are not using K as of now. So this K is nothing but a kernel, and we can just go ahead and print the value of K, and let's see what happens. Print K. Okay, so when we print the K, we get a kernel like this. We can use this kernel to perform morphological operations on this binary inverted image. So let's see a sample morphological operation. The first operation that we are going to see is erosion. Okay, so erosion stands for if you remember, or if you have studied something like geology. So erosion is nothing but when a river is flowing through a valley. Okay, it goes ahead and erodes the banks. Okay, it erodes the banks. Okay, it erodes both the sides of its banks. So that is something we can even apply the same funda to the image processing. So whenever we are going to talk about erosion in terms of image processing, okay, so now you see the border of this binary inverted image, and all these borders will be eroded away in the sense the black color will erode the pixels with black color will erode the pixels with white color. I mean, they will just go ahead and occupy these borders. Okay, so I mean, it might not be like quite apparent when I say it, but let's have a look at how this thing exactly works. So we will just say erosion, erosion, erosion equals to cv2.erode and img, comma, not ing, it should be binary inv, binary underscore inv, comma, kernel k, comma, iterations. So iterations is like how many times we are going to apply this operation on the image. So more we apply this operation, we will see it happening more times. And finally, we will just add the erosion to the result set, and let's see how it looks like, comma, erosion. Let's make it 1,3 and let's run this code. Yeah, so here you can see the borders of the area with white pixels, they are eroded. So this is how the erosion operation works. And if you want to see erosion in clearly, you can just have it something like this. Okay, so this is the erosion with number of iteration equal to 1. This is the erosion with number of iterations equal to 2. Now you can clearly see the difference between 1 and 2. Finally, this is for 3. And let's have a very big number like 10. Yeah, so the borders are like eroding. Okay, and now let's have a look at another operation which is known as dilation. Okay, so dilation stands for now this is the binary inverted image, right? So when I said dilation, so it is the reverse of erosion. So the borders of the area with white pixels will expand. So that is known as dilation. So let's go ahead and change this thing first. Let's make it comma, comma. Okay, and dilation, 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 and finally dilation. cv2.dilate. So the parameters that we are passing are same. So the arguments that we are passing are same. Just need to copy this and paste it. It will work. Okay, let's keep this stuff minimum as of now. Just let's keep the iterations equal to 1. And when we execute the code, you can see that the borders of the white area are expanding. So let's make it 2 and let's see what happens. Yes, let's make it 3 and let's see what happens. Finally, we will have a very big number, 10. Yes, so this is how the dilation works. So even if there is a single black pixel and if you dilate it too many times, you will get a block of full of white pixels. So that's how the dilation operation works. Now there is one more operation which we need to have a look at. So it is gradient. Gradient is nothing but the difference between erosion as well as dilation of the with same number of iterations. So we can just go ahead and find out the gradient. Okay, so gradient can be found out using the function morphology x. So let's have a first of all we need to rearrange the kind of windows. We can just say 5 and here we will just say it's 2 is number of 3 is number of columns and 2. Okay, and gradient, let's say gradient. Here also we will just say gradient. CV2 morphology EX and binary inverted image. We need to pass the second argument as CV2 dot morph underscore gradient, MORPH underscore GRADIENT. That will calculate the gradient, and final thing is that we need to pass the kernel. And let's execute this piece of code, and this is how the gradient is calculated. See, the gradient is nothing but the difference between the binary inversion as well as the it is a difference between the erosion and dilation of the order 1 here. So let's calculate it now. So if you subtract these two images, you will get, or you calculate the difference between this erosion and dilation, then you will get something like this. So this is very useful in determining the borders of the various shapes and sizes. Also, here we are defining the kernel like this with np.ones. There are various methods with which we can define the kernel. So there is a function known as getStructuringElement. So when I was like explaining you what black and white images really are, you must have wondered about these 3 codes of lines. So I had actually copied them deliberately so that I really don't have to look for them on the internet once we get started with the coding exercise. Okay, so I can just go ahead and copy these things and we will use these one by ones as kernels. So let's, we have commented this kernel. Let's have another customized kernel. So this kernel is going to be something like k equal to, and it makes a nice kernel. Anyway, we are printing the kernel, so you will be able to understand how this thing works. K equal to, and finally we will just comment the other 2 kernels. So this CV2 dot morph rect, it will give it is going to produce the same output as np.ones. I don't know why they have created a separate function for this. Okay, so this is the same output as np.ones, and so this is going to create an elliptical kernel. Let's execute it. Yes, so an elliptical kernel, and also we are applying that kernel to the image. So when the number of iteration is only 1, then the effect of this kernel is not like very apparent. But when you are going to use like more number of iterations, then the effect of these kernels will be more apparent. Now this is like an elliptical kernel. It looks like an ellipse in black and white. Finally, let's have a look at a cross kernel. So this is a cross-shaped kernel. So every kernel is going to produce a different output. So basically what happens, it is just like a paint feel kind of thing. Okay, so we have the paint application. We also have so many image editing programs. So all these morphological operations are used while using various functionalities in those image editing programs. Okay, so somewhere you have got a brush, right? So that brush might be using morphological operations in order to fill up a particular area with some color, okay, with a chosen color. So these morphological operations are very important in image processing and even in image editing. So now we have just seen how to apply these morphological operations on grayscale on black and white images. So I was just wondering what will happen if we apply these operations on grayscale images. So let us have a look at that. We just need to delete. Okay, we will just save it, and let's save this as morphological operations on grayscale, GREYSCALE. So I'm not quite sure, I have never tried it, so I thought, like, anyway, this would be a good opportunity to try morphological operations on grayscale images and to see how these images look like. So I'll just go ahead and delete this part. Also, binary inverted is not required anymore because we are directly going to apply it on grayscale images. So let's make it 4 and let's make it 2 by 2 because we are just going to have 4 images in the output set. Finally, we will just go ahead and comment this piece of code in case you might want to reuse this thing. And yeah, these 2 lines are also not needed if we are not calculating that stuff. Okay, so binary inverted, it says invalid stuff because we haven't used it. So in place of binary inverted, we will just go ahead and use it IMG, and it should resolve all the warnings. Yes, it has resolved all the warnings, and let's see now what happens. It should be interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because here you can see original, here you can see the erosion, and here you can see the dilation, and there is some noticeable difference between these 2 images and even this image. Okay, so let's increase the number of iterations and let's see how it looks like. Now the result, yeah, so see here, erosion looks like this and dilation looks like this, and gradient will look like this. So this is very interesting. So I was even wondering what will happen when we apply this thing to a color image. Let's save this code. I think that this should be equally applicable to the color images because what my guess is that OpenCV is going to apply all these operations. If it is able to apply all these operations on a grayscale image, it will definitely be able to apply these operations on color image. It will just apply it on each channel separately, and then it will recombine the channel, and it will do it implicitly. We really don't have to be very explicit about it. I mean, you don't have to divide it into various color channels and then apply all these operations on those channels and then recombine the image. OpenCV should be able to do that. So let's save it as a color stuff. I guess I have messed up the file name of the earlier stuff, so I will just rename this as 11. Yes. In case you are wondering where you can find this code, you will be able to find this code in the GitHub repository, and I have already uploaded the link to. Sorry, I have already mentioned that the link to this GitHub repository in all the in the description section of all the videos I'm uploading. So let me know if you have any issues with accessing that repository. You shouldn't have any issues. Okay, so for color images we are going to do. Before that, we need to choose an appropriate color image. So YouTube code, I'm maintaining a separate directory for YouTube code, and there are tutorial wise directories. Yeah, so these are the images. So 4.2.3 seems like a cool image. It's a monkey, I guess, some sort of monkey. Yeah, it is a monkey. It is a colorful monkey. 4.2.03. So this is 4.2.03. 4.2.03 dot tiff. Okay, so let's save this and let's read it in a color mode, and then yeah, rest of the operations should be same. I mean, we shouldn't have to make any sort of change in the code for rest of the stuff. And moment of truth, if I run the code, what will be? Oh wow, it looks cool. Yes, so this is the original image, this is the eroded image, this is the dilation, and this is the gradient. So it looks cool, kind of cool. I think that we should go ahead with some other image, some other cool image. It should be 4.2.05. Yeah, 4.2.05 should be the right one. Yeah, so here you can see this effect more prominently. The original is this image, a plane flying, and then erosion. It seems that the plane is like almost in flames, and dilation looks like an overexposed image. Gradient is a difference between erosion and dilation. So this is how we can calculate morphological transformations on an image. So we have seen three transformations: erosion, dilation, and gradient. There are so many other operations. So the other prominent operations are opening and closing, but opening and closing are kind of used for removing the white or black dots. So those are not very relevant to us as of now. So in case you want to have a look at them, you can just go ahead and Google for them. Just type OpenCV and morphological operations, and you will the first result that you are going to find will have all these operations listed and illustrated. So with this, I am finishing this tutorial. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks a lot. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you next time.